This is the OMG Book Show with William O'Day, episode number 28.
Welcome to the OMG Book Show, where it's all about taking you into the brains of fantastic authors. No scalpels required. It's more than an interview, it's an experience. And now, your host, William O'Day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show today. We are at episode number 28, as you just heard a little bit back there, and it is what I am calling the final episode of Season 1. It's been a long and fun ride and adventure for me, and I hope it has been for you too. I had a lot to learn. Putting a podcast out is not as easy as 1, 2, 3. You know, there's probably a book out there titled that, but it's not true. Book titled that, if you exist. So getting back to it, yes, this is what I'm calling the final episode of Season 1. And just to do a little recap, we've had, 26 interviews with 26 different authors, amazing, best-selling, just fantastic storytellers. And it's been a real pleasure for me and honor to get to meet each of those individuals over the phone at least, and chat with them and kind of get a look into their lives and writing processes. And I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have. But I've come to a point, and don't worry, I'm not saying I'm quitting forever. I actually love podcasting. I love talking to guests and talking with you out there. I guess it's kind of a one-way conversation a little bit, but I do get your emails and such, so we get to chat that way. But what I was noticing as I've been doing these podcasts, this style, this format of the OMG Book Show, is that while I very much enjoy these interviews and getting to kind of connect with authors and kind of pull out what I can through talking with them, their processes and how they approach life and things like that. One of the things that I, in retrospect, have just kind of been thinking about a lot lately is that I'm missing the side of things, the teaching. You know, I used to teach, as probably you may know, I used to work in the visual effects field, doing digital effects, making movies, big budget Hollywood movies, like what is it? The Last Tomorrow, whatever that Tom Cruise one was with the big alien invasion. Never Say Tomorrow. I should probably know this, but it's been a few years. Anyway, whatever the one is where the aliens come in and he repeats the day. It's like Groundhog Day, but a big alien invasion and battle for Earth. So my team, we did a lot of crowd work for that. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, my point with that is I wrote a book a long time ago about the software that we used. And I wrote, I taught classes at a local college back when we lived down in Los Angeles for several years as well. And one of the things I loved about that, I loved connecting with students and people who wanted to learn. I loved being able to impart what I knew and my perspective and helping them out. And it was always such a pleasure. It's a college class, so of course not everybody's on the same level of either interest or ability or whatever. But there was always a number of students, and quite a few really, more than you might expect, that were really into it and really good. And it was always so much fun to connect with them and kind of help them along in their process. And one thing that I found as well is teaching that software and writing that book is I actually ended up learning so much more about it myself, because when you go from doing it yourself and just kind of making it work versus going out and trying to teach another person who doesn't know as much as you about a particular whatever it is, you find you have to really crystallize your viewpoints and crystallize your processes and kind of take it outside of the realm of this nebulous, cloudy thing that you just kind of do on autopilot, more or less, to a very sort of prescriptive step-by-step process that another person can understand. And I find just even doing that process teaches me, yourself as being the person who does the teaching. You learn so much about it. And in addition, these kind of students as well will often bring up questions, that you hadn't thought of before. So then that forces you to go back and investigate a new area or reevaluate your own process. So I just basically, I guess what I'm getting at is I really love teaching, and I find that is missing in my life right now. That sort of angle and connection. And while these interviews are really fun, of course, in general terms, these people they don't need to be taught by me by any means. So that's a different angle and sort of a different approach to the show. But what I have been looking at kind of as going forward in season 2 and beyond is tweaking the show's format in such a way that it moves more in that direction, so that I can kind of get back in touch with that part of my life and something that I really love and enjoy doing. So it's going to shift the focus of the show a good amount going forward. And I'm not sure exactly at this point in what sort of how that's going to manifest, in what exact format. I have a couple of ideas, but I'm going to keep those under wraps for now because I haven't decided on which of them I'm going to do and the timeline involved for jumping off with those. So basically, I just wanted to say thank you as a listener out there for joining me on this super fun adventure. Like I said again, I'll repeat it again. I've had such an amazing time being able to interview these authors. They've been so generous with their time and professionalism and expertise, and sharing not only their writing kind of approaches and what they do with their writing life, but also if you've heard any of these episodes, one of the things I love to do is really to touch in, get into their personal lives and what happened to them when they were kids, and let's not get too Freudian about it, but just go beyond just the writing thing. So it's been a lot of fun being able to connect with them in that way. So I just want to say thank you to everyone out there, both readers, authors, and whoever you may be. I really appreciate you listening and being part of the show. And I will be back. So I don't have a timeline yet. I need to figure out which of these kind of 2 ideas that I want to try going forward with the show. And once I have that figured out, I will launch it, and we will start a season 2 with an adapted and modified format. And I hope my aim and goal is that it will both bring you and me some new kind of angles to think about. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works out. And I can't wait to bring it to you. So thanks again for now. This is the end of season 1. Woohoo! We made it. It was a good ride, ladies and gentlemen. Season 2 is out on the horizon somewhere. And now I just have to find the right horse to ride to get there. That's it for today. If you would like to be sure to never miss a show and always have them immediately available on your device of choice, you can subscribe by going to www.williamoday.com/iTunes. And if you enjoyed the show, I would so appreciate a rating and review on iTunes. They both help with store visibility, and they also let other listeners know if this show is something that they might be interested in checking out. And I've made it easy to access both of those by going to the same link on my website, www.williamoday.com/iTunes. That will have a link there that you can jump over to either subscribe and or maybe all 3, rate and review the show. So I would so appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's it for now. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the OMG Book Show. You can find out more at www.williamoday.com.